3 years ago, you were sent to the center of the Earth as part of a top-secret mission to ensure the delivery of Little Orpheus, an atomic-powered capsule. You promptly vanished until you casually wandered up to Molodiyozhnaya station 3 years later, claiming to have saved the world, but lost Little Orpheus in the process.
Little Orpheus is one of those episodic adventure guilty pleasures. Big AAA titles can feel heavy and bloated, so when you just want an immersive story to explore that doesn't require plenty of time commitment, Little Orpheus nails it to a T. The technicolour side-scrolling game follows Ivan Ivanovich Privalov at the mercy of his general, following a 3-year disappearance, heading to the depths of the Earth's crust with Little Orpheus.
Beat down on me relentlessly. The heat was unbearable.
Originally released on Apple Arcade for iOS in 2020, it's largely the same game to launch on PC, Xbox and PlayStation. Already a visually solid game on mobile, it carries over with some extra polish graphically, which is to be expected. Ivan Ivanovich takes us through a beautiful palette of colourful environments from the depths of the ocean, luscious green prehistoric jungle, searing hot desert, and many more fantastical landscapes spanning the 9 episodes. The game is in the realms of micro-experiences of story-driven games, clocking in just under 6 hours, with each episode roughly 20 minutes long. For completionists, you can expect to double the time as you replay each episode to collect orbs and unlock recordings and outfits for Ivan Ivanovich, for roughly a total playtime of 12 hours. Little Orpheus is a modernized take on side-scrolling games, adding a good variety of depth and mechanics to keep gameplay interesting enough, laying a voiceover to push the story as the general interrogates Ivan's recollection of events.
General, it was a little more complicated than that. There were great obstacles to overcome and terrible challenges to face and incredible lands to explore.
Enough, Ivan.
The vivid range of colors and environments are beautifully depicted with an immersive backdrop from jellyfish to dinosaurs, line mines to air balloons. I never once felt Little Orpheus was a chore to play. Far from it.
Wow! They reminded me of Cousin Pavel, yes!
Now, Little Orpheus is a sensory kind of experience, constantly engaging you through visual treats, musically synced sound effects that drive emotion and intensity. Special mention must be paid to the soundtrack as they create an immersive atmosphere to drive the narrative and drive the story.
I am very tired, you see.
Comrade Privalov
is every bit as critical to what makes Little Orpheus a fun-filled adventure, unshackled from the chains of reality. Each episode is chock full of gems that at times feel like an on-rails experience through danger, escaping by the grit of our teeth. There's no wasted space, pandering or fillers to pad out how long the game needs to be. It just feels well balanced. Is it a visual experience type of game? Yes, but not the kind of cinematic types that require very little input. There are decent enough platforming elements here. You run away from pterodactyls, breaking ice floors, a T-Rex, and jump between vines and ropes at high altitude. It's fairly simple and straightforward to overcome, but never tedious. You mostly walk, jump, slide, and crouch to the right of your screen, mixed in with quick time action sequences.
I do not want to have you shot. So help me. Make me understand. Tell me what happened to Little Orpheus.
They add some couch comfort gameplay, which opens new sections for Ivan Privalov to continue his quest for Little Orpheus. This is very much a go-to kind of game when you've had a long day, want to rest and play something without much thought or concentration, and let it take you on a journey for the story. As for the story of Little Orpheus, it rears an interesting climax after a pleasant but dangerous journey beneath the Earth's crust and archipelago. It poses themes and messages which make you ponder on various levels, but does so in a playful and approachable way to deeper thoughts. I'll leave those for another time, but for a colourful, visually pleasant and fun adventure, it hits home some very interesting takeaways.
I recovered my senses. shook my head, and looked about me. In my distracted stupor, I had climbed farther up the tower than I ever thought possible. In front of me was the clock face, and I gazed out through it at the sheer expanse of history.
I won't spoil the ending because it's something you just have to play through. But certainly it's an adventure that makes you sit on the side of caution, revel in the spectacular journey, and question the legitimacy of whether everything did happen as Ivan Privalov said, or speaks madness against the cynicism of the general. The dialogue within a precarious situation for Ivan presents some light-hearted moments, only adding further emotional investment to what may ultimately come at the end. Besides replaying to collect all orbs and unlock a few outfits, this is certainly a one-time game to soak up the story of Little Orpheus. Is it a story worth sitting down for? 100%.
If I may...
Comrade Ivan Ivanovich Privalov, you are found guilty of all charges brought against you and sentenced to execution by firing squad.
Little Orpheus brings many elements together for a crisp, cohesive story that's engaging, with light platforming puzzles and various side-scrolling mechanics to make the endgame of Little Orpheus all the more worthwhile. My name is Russell, and thanks for tuning in to today's video review. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up to stay notified for all of my latest video drops here at Phoenix Plays. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace.
Will our determined yet disorientated hero end his days as socialist sushi? Will his daring exploits be cut tragically short by vengeful calamari? Will the general's wife ever forgive him for missing Ruslan and Lyudmila? And just how many eggs did Pavel steal, and where did he keep them? All of these questions and more may or may not be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!